Hi, my name is Phil Bagg, CAS Master Teacher, author of the Code It resources and Highest Computing Inspector. In this video we will be looking at changing the value of a variable. Before watching this video you may want to consider watching Part 1, Labels and Values, and Part 2, Read the Label, Get the Value. Teachers, look out for the pause sign so your pupils can try the activities. Variables suggest change. If I say the weather is variable, the weather could be changing from windy to calm or sunny to showers. If I say that my moods are variable, I could be experiencing different emotions or feelings, possibly from sad to happy or agitated to relaxed. The word variable then is linked to the word change. However, many variables don't need to change once they have been set. We call these variables constants. If you ask someone's name and then store it inside a variable to use within a program, you don't want that variable to change because their name is not going to change. Take a look at this example. If you need to work with a right angle, then you might store it within a variable and you might call it right angle, and you would assign the value 90. This would be constant as that value needs to stay the same. Right angles can't suddenly become greater or less than 90 degrees, they'll always be 90 degrees. However, the value of my angle will change with every loop, as its value is created by generating a random value between 1 and 179. What will the program say if my angle is randomly set to 90? What will the program say if my angle is randomly set to 36? That's right. If my angle is set to 90, then it will be the same as the variable right angle, and will say this angle is a right angle. If my angle is randomly set to 36, then it will say this angle is an acute angle. So we have variable variables, ones that change, and we have constant variables, ones that don't change. Let's have a look at variable variables. Numerical variables can be adjusted by addition and subtraction very easily. Have a look at this. Set laughter points to 0. If you make me laugh, say well done. Change laughter points by 1. This adds 1 to the laughter point value. Else, say that wasn't funny. Change laughter points by -1. This subtracts 1 from the laughter points value. Do you remember our box example for variables from the first two videos? Let's use pencils in our example. When you set the variable points to 0, you empty all the pencils out of the box. When you change a variable by 1, you add a pencil into the box. If you subtract 1, you take a pencil out of the box. Setting a variable always deletes the value first and replaces it with a new value. Changing a value adds or subtracts from the current value. This is not a perfect example, as if you have no pencils in a box and you try to subtract, you can't have -1 pencils in a real box, but you can have -1 in a variable. Let us have a look at an example from scratch. How many life points will you have if you try to cast a spell? That's correct. The value of life points variable will now be 9. You start the game with 10 life points. You're presented with the challenge of an evil giant rat. If you decide to sneak round it, a life point will be added to your total. If you decide to cast a noisy shrinking spell, a life point will be deducted from the variable value as the rat bites you. Work with a partner on this next challenge. What is the label? What is the value of the variable at the start of the program? What is the value of the variable at the end of the program? Well done. The label is mynum. The value at the start is 4 and the value at the end is 5 because it has been changed by +1. Try this example next. What is the value of mynum at the start of the program? How many times should you jump? How many steps should you take? The program starts by assigning 3 to the variable mynum. You then use the value inside mynum to say beep for 3 seconds. The variable is changed by adding another 3 to make the value 6. The value 6 is then used to determine how many times jump is repeated. You should have jumped 6 times. mynum, now set at 6, is then changed by -2 so that the value is now 4. Finally, mynum replaces the number of steps, making you take 4 steps. Sometimes you might need to trace what values are in your program at every possible step to check for bugs or to see if your program works. Programmers would write the variable values alongside their program or their algorithm. In this video we've learnt about constant variables and variable variables, and how we can adjust a numerical variable by adding and subtracting from the value. I wonder what you will create with your variables.